So I wanted to take a minute and just give you an update on where I am today, about a year after I started my cord cutting experience. And one reason why I wanted to do this particular video is I recently saw an article mentioned, I think it was on the Washington Post or New York Times, I don't know, one of those, that was stating that, or the person who wrote the article tried cord cutting, and I guess it lasted for like 2 weeks, and then they gave up, and then they just kind of poo-pooed the whole thing. They couldn't see the savings, and it was difficult. And again, to that person, I would say that you weren't really motivated to do it and to figure out the steps, right? And you really didn't have a need. You just wanted to write an article. So for most of us cord cutters, we're motivated to try to find a better solution or alternative solution to our TV. And then we go through various steps to try to figure out whether or not we can accomplish what we want with various services. Over the antenna services, there's augmenting TV streaming with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. There's also other TV internet streaming services like PlayStation View. And I think that's the one that they tried. There's also Sling TV, and now Sling TV has multiple packages. They got like an orange package, which is the one I subscribe to, and then they have a blue package that doesn't include ESPN, but it includes like a lot of the Fox Sports and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a ton of options, and when you go to start cord cutting, one of the first steps is to figure out what you want to watch, and then you can figure out how you want to watch it and how do you augment it. To jump to one solution over another solution without actually doing that research is kind of setting yourself up to fail, in my opinion. Okay, so where am I at now a year later? Well, I'm happy to report that I still love TiVo. So TiVo is a cornerstone to my cord cutting solution, and I have now upgraded to the TiVo Bolt at this TV. And I have two TiVo minis. I have one in the basement, and I have another in the bedroom. And the great thing about that is for each one of those boxes, once you pay for the box, there's no subscription charges, right? So unlike your Fios provider or your cable provider, they'll charge you anywhere, typically $10 to $20 for each box in your house. Now I'm saying typical, so I know that there's some services that don't. But in my area, that's what they typically charge. And in my case, my TiVo Bolt that I just upgraded to has a 1-year free subscription service. My TiVo OTA is now out of service, so I'm not paying any subscription charges for the next year. On top of that, I have the two TiVo minis that include lifetime subscription already, so there's no additional monthly fees for that. So really today all I'm paying is internet. And my internet, which I just renewed, is $29.99 a month for the next year, and to help augment my services. And I'll just kind of flip up here. So this is what I've got. I've got my Amazon Prime. So I still use Amazon Prime. I still use Netflix, and I use Hulu. And I recently installed on an old Apple Mini, I installed a Plex server, so I stream all my DVDs that I rip my DVDs into a little Plex server, and then I can stream those anywhere in the house as well, without having to actually have a DVD player. So I really like the TiVo. Again, the guide service is great. They had a software update, so now they list out a lot of these different channels, which is nice. Helps my wife and myself kind of quickly locate the channels that we want to watch. So that's nice. And then I do still have, what do I do with that remote? I do still have the Fire TV. So if I switch over to Fire TV here, and I'm doing all that with this little peanut remote, which is great. So I've got the Fire TV, and we'll turn that on, and I still use Sling. And I just renewed because football season is getting ready to start again. Sling TV gives me a lot of stuff that I really want. The primary things is The Walking Dead's getting ready to start again, so I want AMC. And then other than that, I really just need my ESPN. Where is ESPN? I just changed my. Oh, so this. Okay, so I was on. I tried out Sling TV Blue, their blue package, and it has National Geographic and Nat Wild. And when I switched back over last night to Orange, that's what it is. So it just hasn't updated. So I'll sign out and sign back in on this app. So I switched back over to Orange last night so that I could watch or verify that ESPN and stuff would work. So that's all it does. Anyway, so I do still use Sling. I do have Netflix programmed here. This is a TiVo app on Fire TV, and what this does is allow you to stream your recorded shows, not live TV or anything, but your recorded shows to your Amazon Fire. And of course, there's the Plex app. So I do still have Hulu. It's not on here. I've been watching it off the TiVo. All right, so let's check things out in the basement. Okay, so this is the TV in the basement, and I currently have a TiVo Mini, and that's what's connecting this television. And again, there's no additional subscription charges for this, but you can see that it's still a nice, rich TiVo experience. So I can look at my recorded shows, and this is connected to the TV upstairs, the Bolt. I can watch live TV, and this uses one of the 4 tuners that are in the Bolt. So it would be independent of whatever anybody's watching upstairs. So let's say and this is streaming, off of my antennas to the TiVo Bolt, and then through the network to the TiVo Mini here, so that it could be HDMI to this television. And so I do still use the power lines for networking. Let's see, and I've got my Netflix, Hulu, Plex, all that stuff all connected here as well. So if I wanted to watch one of these, then it could stream from those. And so the streaming here doesn't actually go through the Bolt. It's just going to use the internet connection that's already on the Mini. So you have to go to the Mini and put in your subscriptions onto this, just like you would the Bolt. The only thing that the Mini talks to the Bolt for is for anything that's through the Bolt, which would be the over-the-air antenna broadcast or any of my recorded shows. All this would go through the network as normal. Okay, so I also have the same setup in the bedroom. So I've got a TiVo Mini here, a TiVo Mini in the bedroom, and the Bolt upstairs. They're all interconnected. And again, a year later, and I couldn't be happier with the overall solution. Between the television services, I'm still paying $45 a month, and that's really for actually less than that now, right? So I'm paying $30 a month for my internet service, and then any of the subscription services like Sling, Hulu, and Netflix. And again, those are non-long-term subscription; they're just month to month. So the great thing about that is, I can turn them on and turn them off as I want. I've had Sling TV disabled or I canceled the subscription since I guess April when The Walking Dead went off air. I just turned it back on yesterday, matter of fact. That's why I was checking out the differences between the orange and the blue and their packages. The blue is like $5 more. You get a lot more channels, but you don't get ESPN because ESPN is so expensive. So I switched over to blue to check it out a little bit last night. That's fine. But then I opted to go back to their regular orange because football is getting ready to get started, and football is primarily on ESPN and a couple of local broadcast channels. Anyway, so again, I couldn't be happier. I do have 2 antennas. I've got the Clearstream 5 and I got the Clearstream 4, and those are both in my attic, pointed at 060 degrees to pull in all my channels. And that's way overkill for what I need. But I was just going through an upgrade flurry, and I just did it. So I could have easily gone with a Clearstream V2 or Clearstream 2V or something like that, and that really didn't provide any less service to me than my Clearstream 4. Actually, I think my signal strength is a little bit better than the Clearstream 4 with the VHF antenna, so I probably could have stopped there, but of course I didn't. I went with the Clearstream 5 as well and connected those together through a combiner. Anyway, you don't have to go through all that. But my original point was, am I still happy with being a cord cutter? Absolutely. I'm saving a lot of money. We're very comfortable with the TiVo solution. I like having live TV on here. I like having my streaming services on here. I like the DVR type experience where I can pause, rewind the show. Also, the new TiVos, for all of them, whether it's the Bolt or the OTAs, they upgraded the software, so you get that quick skip. We just hit the D button here, so after it programs a show, and I'm sure you've seen this probably demoed before, but you can see it had skip right there, right? So when it says skip, it means that it's already programmed. So if we go to like here, and let's just play this, I'll show you what this is like. Put the sound on. So I could just hit the D, and it would skip to the program, skip through all the commercials, and then I could skip through all the other commercials and get right to the next segment. So it's cool. It just skips through all the commercials right away. So now my wife and I are getting to the point where we actually don't like watching live TV because it's so much easier to just watch it after TiVo's recorded it. On that note, there is one other service that I mentioned earlier, which is the PlayStation Vue. PlayStation Vue takes place of, or gets rid of all of this, really. I am not interested in going to PlayStation Vue. A friend of mine has it. I've only talked to him about it, so I haven't actually seen it in practice. But I looked it up online. It's got a lot of local channels, a ton of channels for like $30, $40 a month. But it's 100% online. And there's an app for Fire TV, so you can watch that. I'm not really sure how all the PlayStation Vue works. It's just not the solution for me. I do like how TiVo works. So, again, go through the normal phases of trying to figure out what solution works for you. Number one, figure out what channels you want to watch. Number two, find out how you want to watch TV. And number three, what services you need to subscribe to that could augment your TV subscription or your over-the-air services. And being aware of subscription creep, so you don't end up paying more in the end than what you did originally when you started. So again, I'll just close with, I absolutely love my cord cutting experience. I'm a huge fan of it. I found a solution that really, really works well for me, and I couldn't be happier. Thanks.